Nicole seems interested in this Robin
Pivot.
Hood. So let's pivot over to another um, thing here.
I was so
Historical drama,
excited.
Robin Hood. I was very excited. We got two. I mean, so this is coming out, and we've got Daily Wire is going to go toe to toe with them with the Pendragon cycle. At this
Can't
point,
be worse.
no, it can't be worse. So initial gripes, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say right off. And Marisha watched more of it than I did because she came back and tried to watch it after we initially turned it off.
Mhm.
Um, I probably won't come back to it. Honestly, the first 15 minutes of the first episode, there was
You could see it in in like the blurb that they put up on the
well, okay,
screen.
so let's start there because they chose to set it. Obviously, Robin Hood is a thing that periodically gets set at different times in English history. They've chose
Always the early Middle Ages.
yeah, so they've chosen to set it sometime late 1100s, right?
I think they said like okay, Henry II. I think they said like 1180s.
Okay.
So 120 years, 115 years, and some change after the Norman conquest.
So now you all get to find out how that we're both also history nerds.
Yeah.
So
We definitely didn't sit around talking about kings and queens of England after the kids went to bed last night.
So it opens with a blurb. One, I think so. The initial blurb, does it talk about so this is Norman invasion ends in 1066. Norman seize control, and so the sort of opening narrative of this show is the Normans trying to force Christianity onto the Anglo-Saxons who were ruling England at the time.
So basically, the Normans have invaded, and and they're trying to force their Norman government and their Norman Christianity on the native Saxons.
Right.
Friends.
So if you're not aware, the biggest problem with this narrative is that England, so even after the Anglo-Saxon invasions, which is
for between 400 and 700.
Yeah, somewhere in there. So even prior to that, England was already becoming Christian.
Yes.
And England becomes a fully Christian country around 700.
Yes. I mean, and there were several very important Christian kingdoms. Wessex had been, which is kind of the Anglo-Saxon kingdom, right? Alfred the Great was the king of Wessex.
Mm-hmm. The thing is you can't erase the fact, like the Romans had already been there. So this is also, so basically the narrative here is that the Normans are pushing Christianity onto the Anglo-Saxons who just want to be pagans. Y'all, this is post Roman occupation, Christian Romans. This is post St. Patrick. This is
long time.
This is post
500 years after St.
our
Patrick.
First English saint has come and gone hundreds of years.
No, St. Patrick wasn't the first. No, he's
no, St. Caedmon.
Oh, yeah.
St. Caedmon, the first poet we know of in the English language, canonized as a saint. He's been dead for hundreds and hundreds of years. This is not this narrative of pushing the idea that the Anglo-Saxons were pagans and the Normans came and
forced Christianity.
Now, granted, when the Angles and the Saxons come in from Germany, pagan, they come in, they run out the native Britons,
who had become Romanized,
who were very Romanized. In fact, they're known as the Romano Britons.
Yeah, a lot of them Christian by this point. Not all of them, but there was a lot of Christianity by the time the Anglo-Saxons
so the Angles, the Saxons come in, they push. So the remainder of a lot of the native Britons push into the Scotland, into the Highlands, into the Lowlands, into Wales, Cornwall. Some leave for Ireland. They scatter out, and the Anglo-Saxons become the primary occupants of England, and promptly begin converting to Christianity.
Very, very early.
Because we have to remember, we
Gregory
already
the Great
have
is
we
400s.
right.
Like the first pope who specifically sent missionaries to the Anglo-Saxons specifically.
Right. So we start off, so all this to stay, we start off on this very bad footing historically with our Robin Hood character is sort of longing for the days of when the noble Anglo-Saxons were pagans and were free to worship their gods. And it's like this by nearly 1200, this doesn't work narratively.
But also, they're not even the gods that the Anglo-Saxons are paying homage to are not Anglo-Saxon gods. They've made up some kind of wood nymph goddess named Gada. And her
right, they're not, they didn't come
weird,
in
creepy
they didn't
husband deer guy.
Right, they didn't bring in the Germanic gods Woden and
right, that's the thing. Like if they would have been like, oh, you know, the Anglo-Saxons want to still worship Woden, and you could be like, okay, whatever, they're at least Anglo-Saxon gods, but like they've totally changed the nature of what Anglo-Saxon paganism was.
Right. So to start off, we're going to do several things here. I'm okay with Robin Hood doing the character having not fought in the Crusades, which appears what they've done. But it is usually part of the narrative, and it's part of he comes home a hero of the Crusades, and then kind of like comes home to a changed England that has fallen apart while the king's been to war.
Right.
And he comes in and sort of like, it's not just he's the fighter for the people, he's also like in a way like fighting back for his king and all this. So we've thrown that whole part of it away, but we get off on a really bad narrative foot with this sort of like not a full-on anti-Christian vibe, but definitely
does
it continue to go there? Because you watched further than I did.
I watched one whole episode and it is very anti-Christian.
Okay, so we've decided to do it. We've decided to make an anti-Christian narrative in a time period that's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And so in the 15 minutes I watched, that's strike one for me, and that's a big one because I'm looking at it. If I'm going to watch something historical narrative, obviously we're inserting a character that may or may not existed into history. This is similar to doing King Arthur. It's like did he or didn't he and when. And so on that, you know, whatever, we're going to have to like do a few things to insert the character in, but like to totally twist this into an anti-Christian narrative, that's a big strike for me. Strike two, within the first 15 minutes, we've had two cases of just full-blown nudity, which, yeah, whatever, but we were trying to watch it and kids were still milling around the house, and so it was like, we're not watching this right now. Third strike, you know, it's like if that happens a few times in a show, you know, it is what it is. We live in a Game of Thrones era. Everybody's trying to be that. I'm not going to get started on my feelings on that again tonight. But strike three for me is that when Robin Hood's father is regaling him with this story of this great Anglo-Saxon warrior meets a fairy, she turns him into the stag and all this. And so here's the thing, I believe it to be pure AI slop.
It was so bad.
If it is CGI,
it is the worst CGI ever conceived.
That's that might be debatable. I saw The Rock as a giant scorpion in that Mummy movie, but it's
definitely AI.
If it's not, the CG artist should never work again.
Yeah.
Like if it was CGI, if it was done by an artist, first of all, if an artist sold this to the studio as something they did, that's a real big problem, because I'm relatively certain that it is, and it's not just AI slop. When I say slop,
It's
bad. It's real bad.
It's not just like I don't like the narrative. It's like they look like they just typed in a chatbot GPT. Blonde nymph, naked, stag, turned into a man.
No, man turned into a
Man
stag.
turned into a stag, and this is what it spit out.
Yeah, it's real bad. And so
okay, and also that guy was in no way, shape, or form Anglo-Saxon. They painted him blue like a daggone Pict.
Yeah, so I guess that's the other thing, and we might have found more problems like that as we go. He's very either Pictish or Viking looking, not German.
But the blue paint is very Pictish.
Yeah.
The Picts, for the record, are the group that the Britons pushed further north into Scotland whenever the Anglo-Saxons kicked them out of England.
But it's one of those things like the character doesn't look Anglo-Saxon warrior, because it's like the Anglo-Saxon warriors, like if you want to see what an Anglo-Saxon warrior looked like, go watch The Last Kingdom.
Such a good movie.
The show.
Oh yeah.
Kingdom. We got a sequel to that coming. New show coming.
Yes. Although, like, they don't look at. They really portrayed the Anglo-Saxons pretty accurately. The Vikings, not necessarily.
Viking and play mixed bag.
Mixed bag. Definitely hairstyles and costumes, mixed bag. But the Anglo-Saxons.
But they got the Anglo-Saxons right. Like these are like when largely when you think of medieval England, and this Anglo-Saxon warrior is some amalgamation of Pictish, Germanic, and Viking. I don't really like it. It would be hard to like, but yes, you're right. The face paint's very Pictish, but the outfit's very Norse.
It's very Renaissance fair. The costumes are terrible, by the way. The costumes are terrible. So bad. But I was so sad because Sean Bean is the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see Sean Bean be the Sheriff of Nottingham. Like he was born to be the Sheriff of Nottingham. But the show sucks. And now I'm mad.
And it's like, why can't we have a good Robin Hood? Like, why can't we?
I guess we got that one in the 40s.
Right. We have Errol Flynn. We have Prince of Thieves, which is not the worst thing ever conceived.
Which is pretty much Carrie Elwes does Errol Flynn.
No, that's
oh, you're right.
Prince of Thieves is Kevin Costner.
It's fine.
It's not great, but it's it is what it is. You have Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
You got Men in Tights.
Yeah, Men in Tights, and then you have the Disney animated version. Those are so when you look at those four, we haven't had. I mean, and those are all
at least 30 years old.
All at least 30 years old, and none of them are none of them are like what I would really like in a modern, big budget Robin Hood. And it's like, I don't know. It's such
Somebody needs to make a Robin Hood movie like they just
but it's the same
David
thing.
Movie.
It's the same problem we have. It's like, this is an incredibly important English folklore thing, and it has potential. And why can't we get it right? It's the same thing with King Arthur. It's like, why can't we get it right? Now, I do think that the Pendragon cycle shows some promise.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, Daily Wire still sort of untested.
Yeah.
And this is chronologically, I think, one of the first things they really put into production.
Some of those Bretons and the Pendragon cycle are wearing very modern skimpy clothes.
Yes.
We always got to wear modern skimpy clothes. Can't we wear historical skimpy clothes?
Yeah.
Not that I'm nitpicking.
Well, but no, it's a
I'm sorry,
if we're going to do historical drama, like, let's make some effort to get things right. Yeah. And clothing should be a relatively easy one to get right. But I mean, you know how that goes. I mean, you've worked on things not set in the Middle Ages. You've worked on things set.
Yeah, other historical time periods. And Either the directors just like, nah, want it to look like this, or the designers just like, they have a vision and they're more interested in their vision than they are whatever.
Yeah.
All that to say, very disappointed. I was super excited to see that had dropped, and I was prepared to watch all of it. And I think I'm probably done with episode 1 because it just was really disappointing.
Yeah, I have no interest in coming back to it. Hey there, sci-fi fans. We hope you enjoyed this clip from a previous live stream of the Science Fictionary podcast. We hope you'll go check out other episodes. We hope you'll hit that like and that subscribe button. And please go check out all of our friends over at the Red 5 Network. And as always, may the Force be with you.